So corporates who say, I don't have the right idea to give you those funds, or we've got our own system in place, what answers do you take to them and say, listen, this is why you need to come and fund with this kind of initiative?
So I think that we are, firstly, we have, what they call in the sort of fund industry, a pipeline of businesses. So we have upwards of 3,000 small enterprises that we support, mostly in the Western Cape, but we're starting to work nationally. So that number is going to grow. Those are SMEs that range in size, as I said earlier, from 2 or 3 person SMEs to some fairly sophisticated businesses that are exporting and could employ 100 people. So a kind of wide variety. They are SMEs functioning in different sort of sectors or subsectors. So furniture or decor or ceramics or tableware. So there's a wide scope there.
So then companies who don't know what to do with that kind of investment cash that they're needing to spend on this kind of initiative, how can they contribute?
Okay. So because we have so many companies that we work with, and we work with them, we know them. So we're a not-for-profit, and so we have sort of business and product and market support programs. We work with in excess of 1,500 of these small businesses a year. So they come to us, we know them, we've done business assessments with them, we've taken them to shows. So we know very well what the stresses and strains are on those businesses and where the opportunities are for growth. So if companies in the private sector have funds that they want to spend on enterprise development, but most people, it's money that they have earned, so they're not wanting to just throw it away. So I think the value that we bring is that we have genuine businesses that are doing really good work, that are supporting income, for the owner and their employees. They're supplying into the local markets or export markets. So they have lovely stories to tell, but they're real, tangible businesses. And then we because we've been functioning for 15 years, we understand the environment, we understand the opportunities. Money invested in those businesses is going to be really well used. So I think there's lovely stories that corporates could tell about sort of tangible businesses that they have supported. And then I think there's probably other kinds of benefits, just in terms of are there places in their supply chains that they could integrate some of these businesses into their story as a business.
That makes sense. So just touch on maybe one of those lovely stories that you've touched on.
Well, okay, so I mean, there are a lot. So there are 45 fantastic stories, but one, I'll tell you a couple that have a different scale. So I guess our sort of best story is Rain, who are the body products manufacturers. They have a shop at the waterfront and a shop in Cavendish. We helped them through our Jobs Fund project develop a whole new range of products, which has meant that they've now opened spas attached to their shops. So they've created a new range that they can sell, but they've also created opportunity for new jobs. And they are flying. They have 18 shops in South Africa. They've got 3 shops in the States. So their vision is expansive, and they're based in Swellendam, and they're employing 170 people. So it ticks a whole lot of boxes. Then there are a couple of other sort of smaller entities. One is somebody who makes beautiful bespoke leather handbags. And all she needed was funding to buy a piece of equipment that would help her do sampling and prototyping in-house. And off the back of that, she's employed 2 more people. And that for me is just as important and just as valid a kind of business support story as the Rain story. Very, very important contributions to local economy.
So does CCDI then hold some kind of blueprint to how South Africa can create more jobs, not only in the craft sector, but elsewhere and around the country?
Absolutely. So I think we have developed a methodology around small business development. It's, there are parts of it that probably aren't unique, but I think what is unique about us is that we take a very sort of individual and kind of human-centered approach to it. So our motto is the most important person in the room is the business owner. And our job is to understand them and what it is that they want to achieve, what the vision is they have for their business, and then help them walk that path. So we make no judgments about what the scale of the business and the product. Our job really is just to facilitate their growth, and I think we do it really well because we understand people.